Welcome back, Bannock folks. Thank you for tuning into another reaction video here on the Bannockdotes page. If you aren't already, make sure you're subscribed to us. Hit that bell, ding, so you can get notified anytime that we're posting any videos. Because we're not just a reaction channel, we are a podcast. And we also like to post content on the off weeks just to stay relevant, just to stay in that algorithm. You know how it is. If you aren't already, follow us on our social medias. That's just at Bannockdotes, BANDECDOTES. Check us out on our Instagram where all our updates happen, all our clips. Anything involved with the show, that's all happening on the Instagram. And check us out on TikTok where all the clips are being posted of our upcoming guests. It's all happening there. Leave a comment down below whether you like this video, if you like the reaction videos, if you want to see me react to a video that you have or something like that. Just leave it all down below. And of course, give this video ding a like. Let's jump into it. We're talking about Losing Sight. Now, I'm stoked about this. This is obviously coming out or being recorded weeks before that this is coming out. But I am actually getting the opportunity to play with them today. That's right. Center AD is playing with them in Hamilton. I'm excited about this band. As soon as this band came out, I was immediately attached. This is Losing Sight. They're from London, Ontario. Jameson, who is, he does a lot of promoting out of London. He's in this band. And Matt Dyer, who played in a lot of old bands before. And I've actually had a chance of touring with him a bit. Matt Dyer is a homie. I think he does the front of house for the London Music Hall. Lots of cool stuff already involved with this before we even push play. They released an EP last year, September, called Fear of Death. It sounded really good. The sound is really heavy. It's that breakdown kind of band, similar to like, I don't know, Acacia Strain and Knock Loose, just that powerful, menacing, there's no two ways about it. We're not reinventing the wheel here. The wheel's been invented. We are making the let's call it the caveman mobile, because it is definitely like chuggy breakdown, and it's great. I love this. Now, these folks just put out a single called Myriad. You can check it out on all the streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, and their Bandcamp, where you can actually support them and give them money. Otherwise, if they're just getting pennies, fractions of pennies, in fact, if you just play it off Spotify and Apple Music. So we're checking it out today on the Bandcamp. That's how it goes. Let's get into this. Cool. Kind of like Meshuggah vibes already. Dun, 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 dun. Love those vocals. Love those like ear-piercing like highs. Oh, just right into the we're fucking already fighting people. Yeah, this is super cool. Kind of giving me what's Harm's Way, kind of like instead of those like deep hardcore growls, kind of like those hires. That's what it kind of reminds me of, or at least like the record like Rust, like that EP that happened, the Blinded EP. Oh yeah, we're into this fast bit now. Just menacing. Back into that. Oh, into a two-step. We love that. I like a lot of this because you could tell Losing Sight is keeping in mind how their music's going to sound live when you have a lot of those crowd participation parts involved. We all know that it could get a crowd going, and not that necessarily this is built around that, but it feels like it's certainly kept in mind. Like we had that build up into that two-step riff. Definitely can see that popping off live. Get nice tremolos in there. Ooh, more of like a powerful, fuller chorus. Something that you might hear out of like Whitechapel. I always love this kind of genre. This kind of genre is important, and let me explain to you why. Bands like the Acacia Strain, bands like Knocked Loose, and I know that there's a handful of other in mind. I just can't think of any at the second. They're important because they are the perfect crossover between hardcore and metal. Now, what I mean that is like someone who's really into metal, and I've talked to lots of people. A lot of people who are really into hardcore these days find themselves introduced to hardcore with bands like Knocked Loose and Acacia Strain. And it's important because then they're in. Not only does a metal kid who's maybe just familiar listening to like, I don't know, like Undeath or something, just like a death metal kid who might necessarily not know the side of the hardcore aspect, who just kind of shies away from it, could definitely get themselves into something like that by listening to Losing Sight and bands like that, because it's important where they keep both elements involved, where it's like menacing and angry enough for it to be hardcore, but it's still got that growl and like that anger involved with metal. It's like it's a perfect crossover. And like I said, these bands need to exist harm's way, just because like without it you wouldn't have these kids who are getting into hardcore. And that's important. Listening to as much stuff as possible is what is the aspect here, right? You shouldn't be cornered into a genre just because that's your favorite. If death metal is your favorite, that's super cool. But branch out. Listen to some metalcore. Listen to some gent. Listen to some like hair metal if it means to. Listen to push those boundaries, because I trust like you might be cringing at the fact that I'm suggesting it, but you will come out on the other side liking more bands and just having a broader aspect, and maybe getting out of a mindset where like things need to have like that. And like I said, bands like Losing Sight definitely can do that. With this huge chorus right into that chug two-step that we're talking about, where that hardcore aspect's involved. If you see a band like them live, you're going to see a lot of crowd participation. A lot of people who don't know that hardcore lifestyle are going to see that and go, what the hell is that? Those deeps. Those are cool. Ooh. Yeah, this song's a certified banger. Losing Sight, Myriad. Hopefully we see this coming off an EP soon. Probably. Yeah, this is super dope. I could definitely see this band going places with a sound like this. There's not too many bands in Ontario that want to fully commit to the breakdown. They always want to add a little pepper into it, which is fine. Like I'm not against any of that. But when you just are simple and you're keeping it simple, you're gonna get more people involved. That was cool. That was really cool. That was Myriad by Losing Sight. That was actually mastered by their guitarist Matt Dyer. I forgot that Matt also does recording engineering, and he mastered it too. That's cool. Definitely go check that out on any of the streaming platforms. I really enjoyed that. I can't wait to play with them tonight. And by the time this video is out, I would have already have played with them. And let's just say it was a good time. All right, folks, that was my reaction to Losing Sight. If you liked that, let me know. Leave a comment down below. If you didn't like it, if there's some reason you didn't like anything that I said, tell me. Give it a thumbs down if you didn't like it. Give it a thumbs up. Just leave it all down below this video. And maybe check out this. Maybe check out this. Maybe hit subscribing if you're not already doing that. It would help me out. all sorts of stuff going on this page. We can get lost in here for hours. Hours.